doing a little paperwork this afternoon. So it's going to show you how I do my rations for when we feed cattle. I got my helpers. Turbo's watching out the window and Angel is sleeping. But so we do have a computer program which is basically just a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and which I built over several years by myself on my own using the nutrient requirements of beef cattle formulas. And basically all it does really is does a lot of the math, or does all the math for me. So if you can kind of see that, it's got everything in yellow is places you can enter places, and everything that is like that is all automatically calculated based on formulas. And the nutrient requirements of beef cattle book that you can buy for, I don't know what it cost, $80 to $100, has all the formulas that all the feed companies and stuff use for their programs. And you can't have your feed company do this for you, and we do have them print us rations every once in a while just to kind of keep track, make sure our nutrients, our analysis, and our ration are kind of within line. But basically it's just a spreadsheet with multiple tabs. This is just an as fed one. If you're gonna mix, so just say 5 pounds of corn, 5 pounds of oats, 5 pounds of something else, and it'll tell you what the nutrient requirements are. So you still have to kind of know your parameters of your nutrient requirements for whatever you're feeding, so you can build your rations right. This is actually for a goat ration, which basically we use the same ingredients, or cattle ingredients. It's corn and a 36% beef supplement. But then we have a starter program. That's my computer going berserk. Which basically calculates, you could put in the number ahead, the beginning weight, and then what you're going to feed them, and then it'll kind of tell you how to feed them. We have a projected dry matter intake of 2.65% of their body weight, and this is actually doing it as a program feeding, where we will tell the cattle what to do. I can change that number right there to 2, and it will, based on the ration analysis, it'll tell me what they will actually eat. I've really never had the time to go through and validate a lot of this stuff. We just don't turn enough head. I don't know where my book went, but it's a pretty big book, and I've showed it in the past. It's some pretty in-depth reading for a beginner, but somebody who's had some nutrition expertise, and I'm no expert, no nutritionist. I've taken some college courses in beef cattle nutrition and etc. So I kind of know the ins and outs of it, or at least I have an understanding of it, put it that way. So I know what people are talking about. And most of it is all a guideline, and the reality is the more you do it, it still goes back to the old, the way Grandpa used to feed cattle. You know, you watch the cattle, you adjust as you go. And so that's kind of, but this kind of spells some numbers out and gives you a starting point. And this is all, does not do it by itself. So this is Like for our starter ration, that's a protein supplement, corn, wet gluten, and grass hay. And then we fiddle around with these numbers over here till we come up with these numbers, which is the nutrient analysis, which is the same stuff you see on a feed tag, until they kind of hit our parameters that we are looking for, and that's based on experience or consultation with your feed guy, nutritionist, etc. And most of them all stay the same within year to year. It's we have this ration, 70% dry matter, which I know that's if you feed a lot of wet feed to cattle, it's hard to get them to eat feed because they're eating a lot of water. The protein percent is 14%, which is probably a little high for starter calves, but that's just based on the feed that we're using. The net energy gain, which is basically tells you how much they're going to actually, the energy level is 0.47, and so I know that is a grow ration type, and then the fiber levels to prevent acidosis and stuff. And then down here it just automatically calculates what they should eat or what to feed them, and the mixes, and then it's just a kind of a budget. It adds the feed up. And these I did this, and it's a lot of calculations, etc. But once you get it started, it's all you do is fill in the yellows, and then this will generate a load sheet. But on my load sheet, it'll come out. Oh, this is like for 1,077 pounds and 51 pounds, 219, 429, 378. Well, my scale doesn't weigh that. It weighs in 5 or 10 pound increments. So I had to go through here and then basically just copy these down into here and kind of round them up and make sure they all add up. And then it's the same. So that's a starter ration. Then we go to a grow ration, our transition to a feedlot rations, then our finishing ration. Then we do have one for replacement heifers, one for cows, and then where it gets all of its data from is what we call the feed library. And this is all the nutrients that are in feeds. So if we have feeds tested, we enter them into here, or there's plenty of sources to find the nutrient values of feeds based on test. And we don't do a lot of nutrient analysis really anymore. Biggest thing would be on corn silage, and that's just because of moisture. But what we found over the time is grass hay is grass hay. There's not much nutrients difference in it. Corn stalks are corn stalks, corn is corn. So there's not a lot of variation, so we don't really do a lot of feed test. And corn silage we will, on and off when we do feed corn silage, and we might do that this year. We'll see. It's all an economics game. That you win or lose on, but the moisture content can throw your rations off. But like anything, the more experience you get, you kind of know if your silage is wet or if it's dry, and then whether you need to test it or just enter a different number for your dry matter percent. It's kind of rocket science, but it's not really rocket science. And then this last page is all the calculations. As you can see, that's quite involved. We're on row 300 and some, but most of them are copy and paste too. They're all just duplicates, and they all transfer back. But and then what I do when I get this done, I'm just going through and evaluating a couple things, and then printing some new sheets off. And then the dogs are being buttheads. Turbo, behave. So these are the copies of the rations I print out, and then I print out the load sheets that you've seen. And then what I do with the load sheets is I put them in the skid steer. And what I do is, and I haven't got one finished, but I take a piece of cardboard and these fancy sheet protectors that you can get at Walmart. They're just plastic protectors. And so then I take one of my rations, and this is like a load sheet for R2 Grow. It's a grower ration, Ration 2, and then it's got the feed ingredients, and then that's for a 1,500 pound load, etc., etc., etc. And I will kind of cut these down or fold them up, but I'll put this on a piece of cardboard like this, and then I'll put it in a sheet protector and tape it up, and then this will ride in the skid steer with all my other ones for as long as they last, which is usually quite a while, or until we need to change them. So then I consult them when I'm loading feed of what I need to load. So if I'm gonna load 2,000 pounds, or a pen needs 2,000 pounds, or whatever I'm gonna feed, then I know that's how much feed goes. That's my weights, and then it's a good brain exercise because then you can add. This is how much goes in it, but so you have to kind of add as you're going on the scale. So you know 80 pounds and 490, that'd be what 570 will be when you end on the corn, and then 1370 you end on the gluten, and then 2,000 on your hay, and then so those go in the skid steer. And then we do have another sheet. This is our monthly feed sheets that each one is a pen, and then it's the day of the month, and then we'll write down what each pen has been delivered, and we can go from there. And then those go into a binder, 3-ring binder that's set up, and then we usually leave that out in the feed shed, and then we write down as we go. But anyway, that's a quick overview of how we kind of keep track of everything when we're out feeding cattle. So questions, comments, leave them. We'll answer them as well. And if you want to know some more, let me know, and we'll take care of that too. But thanks again, and we'll catch you guys next time.